Deep Dive Film School makes no claim of ownership of the film footage used in this episode. The film footage is owned entirely by the copyright holders. Also, we're going to spoil the hell out of this movie, so this is your warning.
Ho, 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 Merry Christmas!
Oh, this week we are getting into that one scene from Die Hard.
Yes.
You know the scene.
Ho, 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 I've got a gun. Let's dive on in.
All right, everybody, I am Adam Sherlock.
And I'm Adam Palter.
And if you like what you see /hear, please like and subscribe. You can find us in all the spaces and places that people find good media.
That's right. Follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Those are our most active channels.
Yep. Now, we are doing like the oldest of old internet style cliches, which is, Die Hard is the Christmas movie.
Is it?
And so, but you might as well just lean into it.
Yeah.
And just like have a good time with it. And so we were like, man, yeah, let's do that for that one scene during Christmas time. And I'm really glad we did, because this is like, I don't think, God, when's the last time you watched the original Die Hard?
Oh, a couple of years ago.
I think it's been quite a while for me. And I was so pleasantly surprised to go back and just see like how damn good the pacing, the detail, the acting, all of that is in this movie.
Directed by John McTiernan, who did Predator, Hunt for Red October, both Die Hard 1 and 3, the good ones.
Oh, the Sam Jackson one,
that
right?
one's great.
That one is great.
And Last Action Hero also. That's right. So smart director knows how to produce something, especially something big. You get Bruce Willis like coming, in his moonlighting prime,
fresh off moonlighting. Yeah, totally.
Creating, and I think one of the things that makes this movie so unique is just kind of McClane becoming like a staple action movie character of the 80s and 90s. And not only just with the Die Hard movies themselves, but his persona was mimicked for... Think about how many like action stars tried to be John McClane.
Oh, totally. And I think that that's exactly what was going through my head when I was watching this, is that, when the first Die Hard was made, and just you look at the John McClane character in the first movie, and like, he's not schlubby, but he's not Arnold, right? Sure. He's just a guy. And that it reminded me...
Probably not a good dad or husband, but a hell of a cop. Well, and just tenacious and uses his brain, not his brawn.
Smart him out. Right? And you go, it reminds me. And if you think about where Bruce Willis was in his career and where he came from at that point of doing Die Hard, I'm like, this is way more of Michael Keaton doing Batman, where you're like, it's this stunt casting thing that's way different. And that's why people are going to fall in love with this character, right? Is that he's kind of more of a comedian. He's kind of an everyday guy. And the real challenge or the real shame of that is that when you compare that to the later Die Hard movies and just a lot of these other movies that Bruce Willis was doing, I mean, this is way before his aphasia and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But, the old curmudgeon-y, the old curmudgeon-y badass that Bruce Willis turned into everything that he did. I was like, that's such a bummer, because that's not why people love John McClane. They were like, he's just this guy. And I think this scene is such a great example of that. Is I want action movie directors to go back and watch this 15-second fight scene that John McClane has with this tall Swede that is out like
Carl's
brother that's 100 times stronger and taller than John McClane, and is swinging him around like a rag doll until the guy accidentally loses his footing and they both roll down a stairwell and he breaks his neck. And you go, thank you. Because in that moment, right before that, you're like, fuck, what's he going to do? Like, this guy's got an Uzi. This guy's like this big, tall, like Norwegian, like looking like badass, and you're barefoot, and you have nothing. Like...
I love the obstacles that are in his way in this movie. It's super fun. The bare feet for sure. The building full of bad guys. The dumb feds outside.
Yeah,
all of that stuff. at the beginning of the scene, he pulls the fire alarm to alert people of what's going on. They had just killed Holly's boss, Takagi.
Yes, Mr. Takagi.
And so he's in a pissed off mood. Why didn't you stop him, John? But he blames himself. But we really get to see him be really smart and really mess with these guys.
Yeah, and resourceful.
Now they know that someone's out there, of course, but like they don't know who they're dealing with until he takes his body and has some fun with it.
Oh my God. Well, and that part where he pulls the fire alarm, like what a great staging. Like I just like when I saw it, I was like, when they were in the writers group talking about how they were going to set up this shot, I was like, it had to have been one of these like, oh my God, he's up high enough because he's like way up in the building that he can see directly down that street and see all of the fire trucks coming down. And then them turning their lights off and just him banging on the glass like, I will kiss your fucking Dalmatian. Get over here. And like, no. Like all of that is so perfectly staged in that way. And yeah, he lures out this guy. They get into this very sloppy, very realistic looking fight scene. And then he doesn't even have this badass triumphant moment. They roll down the stairs and the dude breaks his neck.
Yeah.
And then of course his feet are too small for him to wear.
Yeah, we get some good one-liners in there. We with 9 million terrorists in the world, I have to kill one with the feet smaller than my sisters.
Oh, it's so good. But there's a beautiful moment where I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say they already know he's there. He wants to send them a message, right?
Yep.
And he gets this funny idea. He sees the Santa.
And in the score for just like a half a second, there's a little glockenspiel that kind of plays a Merry Christmas, like ding, ding, ding. And I was like, just that entire idea of the taunt, you're one person against, and that's when John McClane became legendary. I mean, sure, later the jumping off the side of the building with the fire,
but he's slowly picking away at them because of this guy and catching this guy, and what he writes on the shirt, ho ho ho.
Now I've got a
gun, but he's also got a walkie-talkie. He's got a few other things.
Yep.
And he's playing games. It's a cat and mouse game at that point.
Totally. And there is just something so, I mean, the fact that most of the terrorists are, foreign accented, seem to be very intellectual types. And that he's like a
African American guy on the computer. The hacker.
Yeah. The hacker guy. I love that guy. We did at FMK with him in it. And then this Brooklyn cop, right? Like that's just like very tenacious and is also very like you were saying, like when the boss gets executed, he's mad at himself, right? That he couldn't stop it. And you go, that's so cool because you have this whole group of hostages who are all just terrified, right? And we have the cokehead terrorist or the cokehead hostage.
Hans, Bubby.
Yeah, Bubby, Hans, like
the worst guy.
The absolute worst. But you're like, that's sort of what the caricature of what John McClane thinks all these people that work with his wife are like, right?
For sure.
And so there's all these nice dichotomies of the different kinds of people, and that there are people in the hostage group that are like, don't rock the boat. Let them have whatever they want.
Sure.
And the only one who's like, no, these guys are going to kill everybody. They don't care. Is John McClane, right? And so he knows, like, I have to send this message.
There's that for sure. And it's funny enough, when he sends Carl's brother down on the elevator, Hans is in the middle of telling them all that they just killed their boss.
Yes.
And that's when I think Holly realizes exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
That's when she realizes, oh God, okay, these guys aren't fucking around.
Yeah.
And John's still out there.
Yep.
It's not part of the scene, but later, someone's going crazy. It's like only John can piss someone off like that.
Yeah.
So she knows he's still alive a little bit. But last thing I'll say about this scene is, not only we get the smarts with him stealing the gun and sending a message, he also does a switcheroo, and he's up in the ceiling watching, counting, taking notes on
writing
his arm.
down the names of the other guys
all
on
this
his arm.
He has the walkie-talkie, so he's ready. Like he's Kevin McAllister in a big house right now, ready to fuck up some bad guys.
Completely. Well, and I think that's like like you're totally right. Hans is giving that speech, and that's such a perfect moment right when it like ding and the elevator opens right as he's saying like, make no mistake, we are in charge. We are the ones, you know, and if everybody, you know, nothing gets left to chance. And that's the moment where they see it.
Great.
And the last thing I'll just say is that the last part of this scene, right after he's writing the names down, and they go up in the elevator, and the elevator doors close, and our elevator that John's on top of starts to go back up. There was a thing that I noticed is his reaction to not totally being sure that he wasn't going to get squished at the top of the elevator shaft.
For sure.
I was like, that's what makes this movie amazing. That I think 2 and 3 are good movies.
2's whatever, 3's good.
But even they are shadows in comparison to the original, I think.
For sure.
Because that of Bruce Willis's acting of, I hope this isn't going to kill me, like, as I'm going back up. And I'm like, compare that to Live Free and Die Hard, where, like, he's fighting a fucking helicopter, right? And you're like, that, you couldn't be further from this character where he's like, I'm making shit up as I go, which has, like, more of that fun Indiana Jones kind of vibe to it of like, I don't know if any of this is going to work, right?
Point, yeah.
And like, I'm going to hurt myself in the process because I'm just trying to do shit.
It's because he became such a big star that he has to shoot down helicopters like that. But I agree with you. This is the best John McClane, best Die Hard by far. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Though, you know, there are moments in some of the other ones that are great and for his character and all of that stuff. But love this movie.
Yeah. So charming. Such a charming
so fun.
scene.
It's easy to watch. It's a perfect 80s action movie.
Yep.
Last thing, is it a Christmas movie?
No,
it's not.
No, but I will support anyone who says that it is.
Yeah,
but it's not a Christmas movie.
I'm not going to fight you on it.
Yeah.
But
that said, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, next week we're going to continue our Ozu Festival with Early Summer, so please join us then. And then our next That One scene will be from Terminator 2.
Oh, can't wait.
I'll be back. You be back. Like and
we'll
subscribe.
We'll be back. All right. Bye, you guys.
Terrible.